absolutely convinced that there are up to 100 of you all around the world that will make the coming of Biafra a reality in our lifetime. My timetable has not changed. It's still the same and will never change. Regardless of shortcomings, regardless of the prevarications, regardless of it. That's what we're saying here. 080-657-3169. Tell you how God works. When we became unworthy to answer the light, very, very bad. And thankfully they changed it to Ihe. But when we get our Biafra, which is coming, it goes back to its original name, Ihe, light to the whole world. I don't know if some of you know what you're doing at all. Is that what you think? Keke Napep. As soon as Biafra comes, you will no longer see your Okada nor Keke Napep again in your life. Nobody will ever see it again. Only Chadian government can resolve Boko Haram insurgency. Chad. Chad. What does Chad have in common with the zoo called Nigeria? What do they have in common? Only Chad can solve the problem. Sometimes I wonder, all these idiots that call themselves senators that go to Abuja, what do you go there to do? Just to get chicken change. 1 million, 2 million furniture allowance. You come to the village, you build a house and you fence it. And then you live in Abuja. And then if you're lucky, you become an Igbo leader. You know, it doesn't tell you. Do you want to be an Igbo leader? Any of you here? Igbo leader will cost you 500,000 naira. You pay one Eze 50,000 naira to give you chieftaincy title. You go to the Eze of Uri. You give him 100,000 to give you an Igbo-wide title, chieftaincy title again. Then you go to the office of Vanguard newspaper and you give the editor 100,000. You go to the office of Punch, you give them 50,000. You do it that way, say 2 or 3 newspaper houses, and then you give the journalist 15,000 naira. The next week, a story will appear in each of the papers heralding your arrival as an Igbo leader. And before you know it, when you go to Hanese meeting, they will open the door for you. And that's how you're made, an Igbo leader. 500,000 naira. If you want, you can try it next week and you see. They're people devoid of honor and any sense of value. That's what happens to them. Only Chad can save you, not America anymore, but Chad. There will be bloodshed if Jonathan loses in 2015, says Asari Dokubo. There will be bloodshed if Jonathan loses. Boko Haram says if there is no Buhari, then they step up the insurgency. We'll see. 1.1 million voters may be disenfranchised in Niger State, which means that whoever emerges as the winner, should the election happen, which is most unlikely, but should it happen, whoever emerges as the president cannot claim any moral right to govern, because those of them registered to vote did not vote. Even those that voted, there is no way you can count their vote. And them not voting is not out of choice, but because they have in every city, in every town, in every homestead, in every village, in every community, in every family across the entire globe listening to Radio Biafra this precise moment. Please, Barrister.
Thank you, Director.
Our refineries. If we don't stop them, they are the ones who will fund mercenaries to come after us. We must make this very clear. We had this same problem before with Shell and with BP. We can't allow it to happen again. Selling our refineries to foreign companies means that those companies will lobby their respective countries also to not back Biafra. We must be very careful. Desiane, Madweke, and Jonathan, please do not sell our refineries. Very, very important, don't sell them. Canada names Boko Haram a terror group. The work we are doing is continuing. Canada has joined the list of civilized countries to ban Boko Haram. That means we must make it very clear to them that Buhari cannot visit Canada as the chief financier of Boko Haram. Bola Tinubu, the criminal himself, is saying that all hope is not lost. That tells you how much damage we have done to the zoo. They have lost hope. He is now telling them that all hope is not lost. We have decimated the zoological republic. They are afraid, and they should be.
In every 12, a new day, we have
Biafra.org. Happy New Year to all Biafrans all over the people. It with reckless abandon. To what end do they squander the money? Close watchers liken the scenario to what was common in the colonial era, when the colonial masters were only interested in milking the colonized people of their natural resources with reckless abandon, while the people remained impoverished and without a future. The nonsensical argument of Governor Fabio that he constructed a number of roads, flyovers, etc. is just a ruse for the ignorant. What roads? These are APC talking. Hey, good evening and also good to we ask you to stop it. Roads, flyovers, etc. is just a ruse for the ignorant. What roads? These are APC talking. Even in the native Anang land, he has completely ignored Ukanafum, Eka, Etimepo, and Oruk Anam local government areas, according to eyewitness initiated by LVIT. The roads in these areas are just so reminders of the historic times, a little more than bush tracks, owing to increased traffic to the urban centers. With money in the millions and billions of US dollars coming to Akwa Ibom State from 2007 to date, can anybody rightfully claim that Governor Fabio can justify it with what is on the ground in a state that is just 3.7 million people in population? Let us be honest with ourselves. Nobody of good conscience should allow the brigandage to go undressed. Whatever grammar that is. That is what makes me sick with Nigerian journalists, the type of grammar they write. Let us be honest with ourselves. Any future valuer would easily tell you that what is on the ground in the name of the Tropicans is not worth more than 400 million naira. Yet this is a project that was originally estimated at 33 billion naira. This is a catalogue of lists that the people of APC are presenting against Governor Godswill Akpabio, and we shall tackle them. We must meet them head on. Anytime somebody does anything good, anytime somebody does something to uplift the Biafran people, the Yoruba, Hausa, criminal Boko Haram, APC machinery will kick into gear. But unfortunately this time around, they have Radio Biafra. It is only Radio Biafra against them. The VOA Hausa service, BBC Hausa service, French 24 Hausa service, Deutsche Welle Hausa service, Russian Radio Hausa service. It is only Radio Biafra standing between these people and the truth. And we must reveal it. They know that very well. That is why they are afraid of us. That is why they are scared when they hear the word Radio Biafra. We must go on to present to you today that the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria has supported the move by the federal government to privatize the nation's refineries, saying it is a step in the right direction. The Secretary General, MOMAN, Mr. Bafemi Olawore, another criminal Yoruba man, during a press briefing in Lagos on Tuesday, urged the federal government to ensure that the privatization process was transparent and open to both local and international bidders with requisite technical knowledge and financial muscle to transform the ailing refineries. He said, I support the privatization of the refineries, and the reason is that it will bring in private sector efficiency. However, the privatization should have some basic ingredients. Unlike the one that was done 24 hours before former President Olusegun Obasanjo left office, this one must be transparent, competitive, and open to international bidders. Obasanjo sold the assets of the country before he left office 24 hours before he went. Awolowo did the same thing. Now Jonathan is trying to follow suit. You must not sell our refineries. If you sell them, you are wasting your time. Anybody investing in refineries, your money will be lost. We are telling you right now, so you bear that in mind. We don't want companies to go and import foreign mercenaries for us. We don't want countries that will go and lobby their governments to be against Biafra because of their financial interest in another oil saga again. No. We have learned from Shell and BP. We don't want the same nonsense to happen again, please. Nobody should invest in our refineries. No, we don't want foreign investors there. No. Canada has designated Boko Haram and the Cocos Emirate as terrorist organizations under the country's criminal code. Canada Minister of Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness, Stephen Blaney, spoke in a statement on Monday in Ottawa and posted it on the ministry's website. Boko Haram is an organization responsible for over 300 attacks in northern Nigeria, resulting in the death of over 1,000 people. The Caucasus of the Emirates has carried out terrorist activities in Russia, resulting in the death and injury of many Russian civilians and security personnel, the statement said. It quoted Blaney as saying that listing these organizations as terrorist entities sends a strong message that such actions will not be supported. They should go as far as banning Buhari from visiting Canada because he is the chief sponsor of Boko Haram. The national leader and looter extraordinaire, the criminal with 15 bank accounts abroad, the Yoruba man, Islamic extremist and APC leader, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is now begging Nigerians not to lose hope and hope in the country's future because he's aware that we have wrecked the zoo. Maybe he was aware of our program yesterday and our broadcast from Germany. He is telling Nigerians not to lose hope, but we're telling you to lose every hope. If you don't make adequate preparations, you will die in the process. He said that the progressives are poised to transform it into a fertile land of prosperity when they take over power in 2015. In his New Year's message, the former Lagos State governor said Nigeria is destined to be better than it is today. Tinubu said it is, if put in the hands of enlightened progressive leaders, this nation can become a fertile land of prosperity, lawfulness, peace and dignity for us all. This is a Yoruba man, in keeping with their conspiratorial, their duplicitous nature, is a man with 15 foreign bank accounts with stolen money in it belonging to the people. He is the one preaching that you shouldn't lose hope in one Nigeria. I don't know what is wrong with black people, that they are not sometimes capable of rigorous appraisal of the people addressing them. This is a man with 15 foreign bank accounts, 15. He did not trust Nigeria to put his money in the zoo. He did not trust Nigeria to invest all the money inside Nigeria. Instead, he invested in City Corporation, the bank based in Canary Wharf here in London. This is the, I don't know, with our people. In any country in the world, this man will be hung, drawn, and quartered. This man will face a court of law and will be in prison. But unfortunately, only Ibori is in prison. This man has foreign bank accounts as a former governor in England. He has not been prosecuted. The British authorities have not moved against him. Tinubu is free to move about and to continue stealing and to continue lying. Why? Because the former controller of BBC Radio 1234 is in the payroll of Tinubu. Tinubu is paying the BBC. That is why they can't mention him. That is why they cannot investigate this man and put him in jail. He's asking you not to lose hope. He is a criminal. New Year message to the nation from the President Goodluck Jonathan. He is now telling people that Nigeria remains a blessed country. I can't go through it because what he's saying doesn't make sense to me. It makes no sense to me. How can Nigeria be a blessed country when the zoo was conceived in the minds of people that came to take slaves? Those that created Nigeria came to make money. They came to disparage what we are as a people. They came to insult us. They came to laugh at our faces. They came to experiment with us. Nigeria is the result of an abominable experiment conducted by one man. I have not seen the hand of God in the creation of the zoo. Nothing whatsoever. How dare Jonathan say that Nigeria remains a truly blessed country. It is not. Supervising Minister for Defense, Mr. Laboran Maku in Abuja on Tuesday said the military would wipe out the insurgents perpetrating acts of terror in the country in 30 minutes if the terrorists would agree to line up in an area to face it. Can you see how stupid these people are? Somebody is fighting an insurgency. You want them to come out at Oshud and line up and then invite them. These are the people in charge of the zoo. Why Nigeria is a zoo? Do you see how a minister of defense is thinking? Do you see how perverse it is that a minister of defense is thinking like somebody who has no brain? That people, an insurgency, people fighting for their freedom, should come out on the street and invite Nigerian troops to come and meet them face to face. These are the people in. No wonder you don't have light and running water in the zoo. These are the caliber of people, uneducated, unenlightened, unintelligent people who are at the helm of affairs. Biafra will be different. Biafra will have men of character, men who are intelligent, run the affairs of the state. Not every idiot has that capability, like this moron. How dare you say that a group fighting insurgency should come out and face the army? Oh, my dear Lord. Nigeria, I feel sorry for them. He said, this is this man, Labran Maku. He said what made the battle against terrorism in the country a bit complex was the fact that the insurgents hid among the citizens to strike and had refused to be identified. Of course, that's their job. They're doing what they're supposed to do. If they have access to trillions of dollars as you do, if they have access to drones the way you do, if they have access to the armaments that you have, you will not last for 5 seconds. So, Labran Maku, as a defense minister, does not know that any fighting unit adopts a system that best suits them. He doesn't know that because he is not well educated. He is not a man who understands what being a defense minister means. He doesn't know what it means. Those are the news headlines. On a day we are bringing to you the attack, sustained attack and onslaught by APC Boko Haram, the blackmailing machine of the Yoruba Hausa Fulani media has swung into action. They have left Stella Odua alone because Radio Biafra battled them to a standstill. Now they have moved to Akpabio, and we are also going to battle them to a standstill because Akpabio is one of us. He is one of the best governors they have, and he is doing an excellent job. They are selling off our refineries. The reason why we don't want the refineries to be sold is this. We had the same problem with Shell and with BP. We don't want it to happen again. Shell and BP went to Ojukwu and said to Ojukwu, how about the oil? Ojukwu told them the oil belongs to the people. They left Enugu to go and plot our disaster. They came and they lobbied Harold Wilson of the Labour Party in the United Kingdom, and they won that argument. Hence, Harold Wilson said that we should not only be killed, that we should be made permanent slaves to the Hausa Fulani people so that they can have unrestricted access to our oil. That's all. The same nonsense that happened before, those that are close to Jonathan and Desian and Madreke must tell that woman, they must tell Jonathan, you do not sell those refineries. The more you sell them to foreign people, the more enemies we are going to have in Biafra. The more enemies we are going to have. It has happened to us before. We don't want it to happen again. Do not sell those refineries. Anybody buying them is wasting their time, is wasting their money. We applaud Canada for what they have done. Now they have banned Boko Haram. They must turn their faces to those victims of Boko Haram terror, namely Biafran people. And they must help us in what we are doing. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the liar extraordinaire, the looter and the arch criminal, have spoken once again, saying that Nigeria should not lose hope. Of course, they've lost hope. They listen to Radio Biafra and will tell them the truth. At this point, I will now go to the barrister to please make sense of what you are presenting. Why Jonathan will use the word blessed to describe a country that is a mere geographical expression because black African people don't have shame. When they are being insulted, they don't know. You are a mere geographical expression. You are not a nation. You are not a country. The only reason why you exist was because Frederick Lugard came to stop the French from expanding out of Dahomey, present-day Benin Republic. That's why you exist as a country. If not, we would have had our Biafra. I will now invite the barrister. Barrister, can you hear me? Please help us make sense. Bring some semblance of understanding and reason to the headlines and the news summary we are bringing today, please.
Thank you, Director. As always, you are a good news reader. You read, you explain, you analyze. All I do is just to support your case. Thank you, Director. And let me take issue with the British, of course. They made us what we are today, and they kept us in the situation we are today. But thank God, as we celebrated that the zoo has been built, the zoo will remain. Which is God want to help in Nigeria. So there is problem.
Have Taliban living close to your house? The answer is no. So what do you want me to do? Everywhere you go to, there were explosions. There was none recorded at Omaha. Apparently, it seems everywhere else there were explosions. The one at the PTC at Enugu and every other place that led people to be scampering away all over the place. There were no, and the turnout, as it has been confirmed, was less than 10%. People stayed at home. The statement of fact. That is why INEC right now is telling everybody, please keep voting. They plan to close the polls at 4 p.m. Now it has continued. They said they'll keep voting until heaven knows when. We are asking everybody, they will come to you with money. You must. The rigging going on now at Ehiro. People must tell BBC, please. BBC, there is rigging going on at Ehiro in Aba. Come and tell people that they voted because we did not vote. Our people have stayed at home, overwhelmingly endorsing the perception, the view way forward for them. That is what I have said today, by staying at home. And we must honor that very request. Everybody, wherever you are, every IPOB member, you must redouble your efforts. You must make sure that we continue to march forward to restore. For that reason, everybody...
Good evening, Biafrans.
That is one simple promise. If you don't die naturally, we will kill you. Hey, you took over Benin. Invasion of Benin. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Good day all. I still remember myself, Owudi Wechidebere. I'm from Umumbandino in Ezagu local government of Enugu State. I'm using this opportunity to thank the people of Biafra here in Benin that came to welcome us, not minding the way we told them that we are coming, and they're happy to meet us. Thank you all.
Thank you. We are glad to be here. We decided to shock you people today. But you have turned out in great numbers with only 1 hour notice. 1 hour notice. That goes to show that they are prepared and ready to serve their country, which is a thing of joy, a thing of pleasure, and a thing of honor. We are here, we are live, and we are direct. And because this is a live transmission, our lines will be open at the appropriate time. The number to call, as always, remains 0805-909-81374 for those of you unfortunate enough to be in the Zoological Republic. If you're calling from outside, it is +234 805 909 81 234 805 909 8137. We are on 0044 or +44 208 133 9976 +44 208 133 9976. We happen to also be on Skype, on Radio Biafra, and also Radio Biafra 1. Radio Biafra and Radio. We are here to propagate this gospel, to preach it before this very audience, and children as well who are here, 1 or 2 of them. I am glad to be in this very place. Tell you I am going to do, I do it. If I make a promise, I always keep it. I don't retreat, I don't surrender. The only thing stopping Biafra from coming is that most of you are not trustworthy. That's all. Definitely convinced that there are you all around the world that will make the coming of Biafra a reality in our lifetime. My timetable has not changed. It's still the same and will never change. Regardless of the shortcomings, regardless of the prevarications, any inherent problems that may be in terms of people being able to reconcile the need for them to defend their land with that, agitating for Biafra for peace, we must march on relentlessly and Biafra will come. This is Radio Biafra. I will therefore, there are two numbers to give to them. One is that of Emmanuel Ibokwe. Is that correct? Our coordinator in Imo State? The very first number belongs to Emmanuel Ibokwe for anybody wishing to join. Did you warn Emmanuel Ibokwe at all about what is going to happen if his name is on the air? Does he understand what will happen? The number is 080-657-31696. This is the number for Biafra land. To call if you want to belong to the family in Imo State, especially for those of you listening via CHK 97.6 Biafra FM. 080-657-31696. Very well. Islam made it to the coast. That is one simple promise. If you don't die naturally, we will kill you. There is no betrayer that will see Biafra land. God is my witness. None. The fact that some of them are still alive doesn't mean that we don't know how to kill them. It's because the time is not yet right. There is nobody, I repeat, a betrayer that will see Biafra land. You will hear their stories and you will not like it. Some of them will die out in Sokoto very, very soon. This is Radio Biafra. We must go on to bring our news headlines and accompanying news summary this very day. Nothing is working. Has anybody been to Iguacha recently? Do you know what happened at Owerri yesterday, Imo State yesterday? It also happened in River State. Are you aware of that? Do you know that every APC poster in and around Port Harcourt has been destroyed or defaced? Are you aware of that? In the north, do you also know that anybody supporting Goodluck Jonathan is under threat? Are you aware of that? That means that the center can no longer hold. This country must end next year. The reason why I say this with every certainty, I know not everybody will understand the essence of this, is so that we can prepare. If we fail to prepare for the collapse of this very zoo 2015, if you call my number, I will play this broadcast for you. I will not talk to you. I don't have to do this. I can stay in England. I graduated in England. I am a management consultant. I can go back to work tomorrow and earn lots and lots of money. Understand that very well. If you don't hurry up, all of you in Benin here, if you don't hurry up by next year, APC said they will kill everybody supporting Goodluck Jonathan right in Iguacha, in where APC flags and posters are being destroyed and defaced. So the country is already divided, if you don't know it. This time around, not along ethnic lines, but along party lines. But because of the affiliations that people have, Jonathan is a Biafran, unfortunately, I hasten to add. And Buhari is an Arewa person. The battle lines have been drawn. This country can never, ever survive next year unless the Americans do what they did under Abacha, which is to kill Jonathan and Buhari at the same time. The same way they killed Abacha and Abiola at the same time. If you don't prepare, you have yourself to blame. Therefore, we are reporting today that will be the same. I'm telling you because next year you say Nnamdi Kanu said it on Radio Biafra. And I will not feel pity for what will happen to you if you fail to act now. I will not feel sorry for anybody. Heaven knows, I won't. Arewa group raises the alarm over plot to shortchange the North. Everybody, we are bringing this news so you understand. Not tomorrow you say, oh, and for your information, all of these news items are not made up by Radio Biafra. I am reporting, we are blogging what is being reported all over the place with verifiable sources and proof to substantiate what we're saying. They are saying that there are plans to shortchange the North. This is Arewa group. This is what Ohanese should be doing. But Ohanese can never do it. They cannot come out and be as bold as this. If you ask them, they will tell you, we fought a war and we lost. Because of that, you don't speak anymore. But all of you here this evening, anything you have in your mind to say, all of you, some may have tried to call Radio Biafra without success. Anything you want to say, you say it live on air that the whole world may hear. Everywhere right around this world, people are listening in Norway, in Sweden, in Finland, in Denmark, everywhere, South Africa. Arewa group raises alarm over plan to shortchange the North, which means they want power by all means. Do you know that they went to Britain last week? Last week, Tuesday. None of you know this, I have not reported it. The Arewa people went to Britain. They sent their 2 emissaries to go to London, to go and ask the British to intervene, to prevail upon Jonathan not to run. After all, that the British promised them perpetual rule in this very zoo. Ask them if I'm lying. Tuesday of last week. Jonathan should be very, very careful. As I told him before, they will assassinate you. Do you want us to bet money on it? Gaidam town under Boko Haram attack. As we speak, Boko Haram is still attacking. So all of those news they were giving you 2 weeks ago, that, oh, the army has taken back, is it Mubi? They have taken back Adamawa. That the army is now in charge of, they are all lies. Do you not believe that they're lying to you? Boko Haram, they are taking many new towns as we speak. They have their Islamic Caliphate. Chad, Niger, Mali, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Togo, northern part of Ghana, northern part of Benin Republic. All of these countries, even parts of Cameroon, will be against the USA. Do you know one thing they have in common? All these I've mentioned now. Do you know what they have in common, all of them? Islam. You are the only one. But it's under Edo State, yes? Islam, yes? Is there any people who are Islamic in Anambra State? In Enugu State? In Abia State? In Delta? Cross River? Rivers? Bayelsa? Imo State? Imo? It seems an Imo person is here, is that correct? I was telling the artificial Muslims, you got it? Mecca. Do you know where I will go to? I'll go to Owerri. Yes, very close to Master's house. Near the government house. And there I will get an Alhaji title. In the land of the Most High God, Chukwu Abiyama. Do you know why you are not Muslims? There's only one simple reason. Because you are the children of God. That's the only reason why you're not Muslims. There is no other reason. After all, every other group of people across the stretch of West Africa, they are all Muslims. Islam made it to the coast. If you like, travel from this very place to Senegal and see for yourself. You'll be seeing mosques all over the place. Am I lying? Benin Republic, Togo, Ghana, Ivory Coast. Be on the road. You'll be seeing mosques left, right, and center. Is that correct? But I can tell you, you can travel from Warri to Calabar, you will not see any. Is that true or false? All of you, you owe Chukwu Abiyama something. To make sure that the way He created us to be away from Islam, that you maintain it. That is why Okorocha is a very bad person for trying to upset the will of God. I say to Okorocha and Imo people and those that support him, If it is the will of God that Islam must prevail in Biafra land, the Muslims should have overrun us many, many centuries ago. But they died that we may remain who we are, the children of the light. Somebody is from Ihe or Ihe, as the case may be here. That's the meaning of it. It was my to tell you how God works. When we became unworthy to answer the light, very, very bad. And thankfully they changed it to Ihe. But when we get our Biafra, which is coming, it goes back to its original name, Ihe, light to the whole world. I don't know if some of you know what you're doing at all. Is that what you think? Keke Napep. As soon as Biafra comes, you will no longer see your Okada nor Keke Napep again in your life. Nobody will ever see it again. Only Chadian government can resolve Boko Haram insurgency. Chad. Chad. What does Chad have in common with the zoo called Nigeria? What do they have in common? Only Chad can solve the problem. Sometimes I wonder, all these idiots that call themselves senators that go to Abuja, what do you go there to do? Just to get chicken change. 1 million, 2 million furniture allowance. You come to the village, you build a house and you fence it. And then you live in Abuja. And then if you're lucky, you become an Igbo leader. You know, it doesn't take, do you want to be an Igbo leader? Any of you here? Igbo leader will cost you 500,000 naira. You pay one Eze, 50,000 naira to give you chieftaincy title. You go to the Eze of Unri. You give him 100,000 to give you an Igbo-wide title, chieftaincy title again. Then you go to the office of Vanguard newspaper and you give the editor 100,000. You go to the office of Punch, you give them 50,000. You do it that way, say 2 or 3 newspaper houses, and then you give the journalist 15,000 naira. The next week, a story will appear in each of the papers heralding your arrival as an Igbo leader. And before you know it, when you go to Haneze meeting, they will open the door for you. And that's how you're made, an Igbo leader. 500,000 naira. If you want, you can try it next week and you see. They're people devoid of honor and any sense of value. That's what happens to them. Only Chad can save you. Not America anymore, but Chad. There will be bloodshed if Jonathan loses in 2015, says Asari Dokubo. There will be bloodshed if Jonathan loses. Boko Haram says if there is no Buhari, then they step up the insurgency. We'll see. 1.1 million voters may be disenfranchised in Niger State, which means that whoever emerges as the winner, should the election happen, which is most unlikely, but should it happen, whoever emerges as the president cannot claim any moral right to govern, because those of them registered to vote did not vote. Even those that voted, there is no way you can count their vote. And them not voting is not out of choice, but because they have been disenfranchised, which means that the ballot will be null and void. This place is going next year. They appear there and will write it on a piece of paper. Boko Haram kills scores of captives in Bama. They have killed many people in Bama. And also, 23 people died in one go in a motor crash in Cross River. 23 at the same time. Tragedy. I thank Chukwu Abiyama because we travel on the road all the time. How people drive here. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Massive miracle. Massive miracle. Somebody is telling me, Prince Ike Ikechukwu, our coordinator in the UAE, is telling me that 500,000 is too much. with 200,000 you can make it. Oh, but it has come down. The price has come down. This 200,000. Those of you that want to be, maybe you can wait till early next year. Okay, but at 100,000. It really does. I thank those of them that went to the meeting in Norway today. Ike Kenga is telling us that the meeting was fabulous. Of course it will be. Do you notice that after a while everything settles down? And then you can see very clearly. That's what has happened. Satellite is not getting it. Satellite is not getting it. So how come people are inboxing me? Satellite not getting it. People are inboxing me. They should be getting it. They should be, because everything is good. All systems are go, and they should be receiving it. This is Radio Biafra. This is Radio Biafra. We must continue. We are here. We are live, because I'm reading from people, so that means they're listening. If not, Ike Chuku will not tell me that 500,000 is too much. He inboxed me all the way from now. And to those of you who may have sent me a friend request and I've not accepted it, because I'm oh, come on, the village never. My fellow villagers, we are all here together. Oporiji is green. Green. Here to a man in here, maybe go. We must continue. We must continue. This is Radio Biafra. We are back and we are streaming okay. We are back. It will be intermittent for some people. There will be bloodshed if Jonathan does not win. Then Boko Haram is saying there will be bloodshed if Boko Haram doesn't win. Then Aliyu Babangida is saying that 1.1 million voters will be disenfranchised in Niger State. And other people are complaining about making sure that those of them disenfranchised in Boko Haram controlled territories. And now the news in greater detail. Pro-Jonathan governors in the north get death threats according to Vanguard newspaper, not Radio Biafra. Governors from the northern part of the zoo who are favorably disposed to President Goodluck Jonathan's re-election bid are allegedly getting death threats. According to Vanguard, the chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, all they are interested in is that power should return to the north through the election of the former head of state. A northern governor supporting Jonathan presidential bid told Sunday Vanguard, a sitting governor, the north is no longer interested in what happens as long as Buhari is returned. Then there will be peace. If there is no Buhari, don't worry about as much money as they can afford to spend. But that will not save him. It won't save him at all, at all, at all. Jonathan is in one almighty mess. This country is finished. This empire created by the British is gone. Come 2015, there will be no Nigeria the way you know it today. To be gone. Because there will be war. And men and women will die as a result of it. The best thing for Jonathan to do is to declare Biafra. That is the only thing why Boko Haram is still agitating for the extension of Sharia rule across every territory handed over to them by the British, is because you are still Christians. Or most of you are. For me, I'm a Biafran. I'm not a Christian, I am a Biafran. They want to come and Islamize you. They want to come and kill you. They want to come and marry your 9-year-old daughters. They want to come and force you to pick all the time. Do you know as a child you don't need to speak when you eat meat? Do you know that? There are no gaps in your teeth. Are you aware of that? Nature has a way of warning people. Anytime you eat meat, you always look for toothpick. You know it's time to go to fish. I feel sorry for those. The same way I told our people that you will be killed in the Mohammedan Emirates of the North, August of 2009. And it came to pass. The same way I told all the idiots building their hotels in Ugwawasa that you will regret it. Are they not regretting it today? How about the idiots in Lagos? They will regret it. All of you. with investments outside Biafra land, you will all regret it. Unless ammunition is what we need. Because Boko Haram, they are not coming to negotiate with you. They are coming to Islamize you. A sociocultural group, Arewa Youth Integrity Forum, has raised the alarm over plans by a cabal within the APC to shortchange the northern geopolitical zone for another 8 years by planting General Muhammadu Buhari, the cabal, to take over power, thereby making it possible for power to return to the south again for another 8 years. This is the only part of the world where people seemingly educated are also blatantly ignorant. In any civilized country of the world, it doesn't matter where you come from, as long as your policies are good, you are elected into power. When people teach you about democracy and voting rights in your schools and colleges, nobody said if you're from the north, you rule for 8 years, if you're from the south, for another 8 years. Rotational presidency is not part of democracy. It truncates democracy. That is why sometimes I wonder the type of school people go to in Africa. It worries me a lot. It doesn't matter where you come. One family can rule us for 1,000 years, as long as we be allowed to continue to control the animals. The only thing is that we intend to live next year, and we cannot be in the same country with them. Impossible. Practically impossible. So even if they don't kill themselves next year to allow Biafra to emerge, Biafra will emerge. Depends on how soon we can find 100 of you who understand discipline, not those who think that we are training political thugs. Somebody, correct? A soldier wants key to hotel. So I wanted to ask you people, is that how you do soldiering in this side of the world? Huh? A soldier looking for hotel, and for us to give him money for Christmas, or else he will go to Facebook. Oh, God in heaven. Anytime some people are serious, we will know. We will know. This is Radio Biafra. We are continuing. I know that some people may be complaining, but I know also Ifani Abazu from Italy is saying that everything is good, that we should continue. And of course we are continuing. We don't stop. The people here have waited so long for this, and we don't intend to disappoint them. Our voice is streaming out very well, and there is no problem. Suspected members of Boko Haram, the group funded by Buhari. Buhari was a dictator. Do you know that? Do you know who Buhari is? Buhari stopped a democratic process. Now he wants to come back to contest as a Democrat. Do you think he has the credibility to do so? There is something in the USA they call judgment. They also have it in Europe. Before they vote for you into power, they will say to themselves, can we trust his or her judgment? The way you see things, the way you analyze them, the way you approach issues, and how you resolve them, if need be, or if the need arises. Buhari, who is now the main sponsor of Boko Haram, told all of you in the open, if I don't win the election, I will make the country ungovernable. Is that correct or not? Is it not the same Buhari that said he wants to see the extension of Sharia law all over the place? Is that not correct? The same Buhari that overthrew a civilian, democratically, in inverted commas, elected government. And some idiots like Okorocha, people make me sick. I preach this gospel all the time, that the problem we have in Africa is the brain of an African person. Somebody who truncated a democratic process, somebody that is the chief sponsor of a terrorist group. People went to Lagos to vote him in as a presidential candidate. May God have mercy upon the soul of some people. Unbelievable. These are the things I find astonishing about our people. The inability to digest anything they have been taught in school. The inability to rationalize, to think properly, to intellectualize. Do you know that's why we don't have... How many times have you taken the light today in Benin? Do you have light where you're coming from now? But there is Kainji Dam. There is Afam power station. They have gas-powered turbines all across Ohaji, Ebema area. Yet you don't have electricity. Don't you think there's something wrong? How many of you care about having constant power supply? How many of you? Do you know that constant power supply is possible? Do you know it's possible? But yet you can't do it. Because you are not civilized enough. The reason why you are not civilized is because you are in a place called Nigeria, the zoo itself, where men cannot reason properly. You see human beings walking about, they look human, they have 2 legs, 2 hands. When they open their mouth to speak, something comes out of it. But they are not more developed than a chimpanzee in the zoo. There is no country in the world where you have human tragedy on the scale of which you have in the zoo, called Nigeria. There is not a country in the world. Do you know today we were stopped by a policeman? The policeman said, "Happy Christmas." We said, "Happy Christmas." He said, "Do something for us. Now it's Christmas, compliments of the season." We said, "Compliments of the season." No money was coming. He said, "Okay, since you don't want to give us money, come, hey, pack them very well. Clear there. Openly." I don't lie, so I don't have need to make up stories. Where is your papers? What are you carrying inside the car? Do you have receipt for what you're carrying inside the car? When Chidebere alighted from the car to go and meet them, the man said, "Who are you?" Chidebere said, "I'm an engineer. All you're seeing here are the equipments we're going to install somewhere," which is true anyway. The man said, "Where is your ID?" Chidebere said, I'm an engineer. I don't have any ID on me. If you want my papers, I can show you." He said, "Okay, I don't want to say that." "Which trade union do you belong to?" A policeman on the roadside. And I asked myself, what has the association he belongs to got to do with clear very well? The car in front of us, the bonnet was open. At the back, there was a man screaming and shouting about why the engine number changed. Engine number. In the middle of the road. So, the police people in the zoo don't know that when your engine knocks or breaks down, don't you buy another engine? Huh? You go to Mbuka, you buy another. Is that correct or not? So how do you expect somebody, having gone to Mbuka to buy a new engine to replace the one in his car, how do you expect the number to tally with the original paper, the Tokumba one is imported? Lack of common sense. That is the problem with Africa. And we continue this very news. Boko Haram have taken Gaidam town. They are attacking every blessed day. Where do you think they get their weapons from? Boko Haram. From where? Is there any seaport in the north? So are you telling me that they carry all those heavy machineries on their back through the desert? Is that what you're telling me? Have you ever asked yourself, where do they get their weapons from? Who supplies them? All of those Arabic, Islamic countries surrounding the zoo. Niger Republic, Chad, and Northern Cameroon. And those of them that was given to them by Buhari and Babangida. Because every unit that were loyal, either to Babangida or to Buhari, their commanders defected to Boko Haram. And they emptied their armories and gave it to them. And when they send their daughters to come and deceive all of you by inboxing you, you fall for it. They are busy arming themselves, and they sent their daughter to come and be telling you not to be ready for them. Gaidam is under attack. Only Chad can save you. You know Chad? Eh? You know Chad, don't you? You know Chad Basin? Chad. Have you not heard of Chad before? Even there they run a Serbia. All those beggars on the streets. Eh? Wicked people. Chad. Ask those of them that use the leg to trek to North Africa and they will tell you how wicked they are. Former Borno State Governor Ali Modu Sharif has shed some more light on the Boko Haram militancy currently plaguing some parts of the zoo. Do you know what we call the zoo? Where is the zoo? Where is the zoo? You know what's the zoo? Monkey, baboon, ape, aqua snake, you know snake, python, pig, everything you need is there. Don't the zoo here in Nigeria, don't they have pigs in Nigeria? Do they have pythons in Nigeria? Do they have monkeys here? Huh? Manketa. And Kora. You know what is Kora? Hyena. Do you know that Hausa people turned to Kora and was eating Oloko people in Iguano many centuries ago? You didn't hear the story? You people are very young indeed. We are old, so we know the story. Hausa people went to Oloko with their cattle. Oloko people ate their cattle, took some few nama from there. And it's a legend, we believe, at night, Hausa people started killing Oloko people. And they asked why. They said they turned to hyena. That's how I knew the name Kora. Hyena, to kill Oloko people. Because Oloko people took their cattle. It's not today that you started suffering from occupation. I was at big time. Big time. And most of your leaders obliged them. The very weak and toothless, every day they're in court, bound or hanese. Useless people. Toothless and wretched. That is why you are in the mess you're in today. Look at all of you. You're in Benin City. What is wrong with Abakaliki? Do you know we'll develop Abakaliki and make it look very, very beautiful? What do you think it takes to build a house? Iron, which is rod, is that correct? Cement, sand, chipping, anything else, and wood, yes? And glass, is that correct? We had glass factory in about 3 or 4. We had woodwork in Sapele, is that correct or not? Wood in Sapele, is that correct or not? We have chippings in Logbanta, is that correct or not? We have sand everywhere, including in my own country. Who doesn't have sand in their place? We have iron ore in Ohafia. Iron ore in Ohafia. So if you are homeless or you live in a very ugly, dirty house, it's because we are lazy. God is not stupid. All of those things are there, all around you. It is to transform them, to transform a piece of... Somebody had to go and cut the tree. Yes? Dry it, treat it, and fashion it into a table. That tree cannot form a table on its own. Is that correct or not? That is how life is. Do you see why I hate Pentecostal churches? I know fully well that for a tree to become a table, if you like, you do prayer and fasting from now to forever. It will never happen. For a tree to become a table, you must go and cut it down physically. Not in the spirit. That is why white people are always ahead of everybody else. They don't believe in stories. Practical. Your problem is in Chad. So ordinary tiny Chad, where they have no food, only sand, and DGG, will now come down and help you solve Boko Haram insurgency, which means that they have their grand plan, and that grand plan is to